you stuck in your house with nothing to do? Erin is here to bake with you. Quarantine Baking with Erin.
Welcome to today's Quarantine Baking with Erin. We are shooting on location at the cabin. And we also have a guest host. I'm Erin's sister, Kate. And this is her mom, Joe.
Hi, I'm the assistant.
And what are we making today?
Today we're making chocolate chip cookies.
Ooh.
Alright. So, chocolate chip cookies are very classic, everybody's favorite thing. I'm told that I have some kind of special chocolate chip cookie ability. I don't know if that's
It's true.
But the directions are on the back of your Nestle Toll House bag. That's the recipe that we use. Except it said, oh, it doesn't specify. I thought it said unsalted butter. We always use salted Land O'Lakes. This is our little Land O'Lakes commercial. Salted Land O'Lakes butter.
And how much are you putting in?
We're putting in 2 sticks
Into its own bowl.
into its own bowl.
And those sticks have been laying out all morning, so they are room temperature.
That's true. That is true.
Kate, do you think maybe we should preheat the oven?
I think that would be a great idea.
And the package says 375.
Yep. 375.
All right.
All right. Now we need to add the rest of our wet ingredients.
So we put in 2 sticks, which is
Which is
1 cup.
1 cup of butter. Where is the sugar? This is flour, and this is flour, and this is... thank you, baking assistant. Couldn't find the sugar. We need 3/4 a cup of regular sugar. If we can get it out of the cabin safe.
The humidity-proof containers.
Yep, it's so safe that you can't get it out. Ta-da! All right. I'm going to use a scoop. I suppose I could just use 3/4. I don't have a 3/4. You have a half and a cup.
Well, you know the theme of, well, your cookies are good, so you probably measure properly, which is probably why they
properly, yes.
probably why they end up better than everybody else's.
Quarter, I could, but I want to pour it all in
Okay.
nicely. I do actually measure. Do you guys not measure? Because that might be the problem.
I even measure, and
I
they don't
measure.
turn out as good as yours,
All
Kate.
right. Okay, here's our 3/4 granulated white sugar, so not powdered. Voila. Okay, here you go, baking assistant. And then we need our 3/4 cup brown.
Do you use light brown, dark brown? Does it matter?
I use light brown. I've never tried dark brown. I'm sure it would work, but I've not personally tried it. However, it is very important that you pack the sugar. That means we're going to squish it into the measuring cup. Do you have any scissors, baking assistant?
Yes, we have scissors.
All right.
This kitchen is just big enough to do this.
Yep. Okay. Brown sugar is so sticky, it is very hard to get out.
That was purchased just for this because we do not usually keep brown sugar down in the cabin because it just does not keep well.
Right.
Yeah.
This is very, very fresh. You can tell because it is still pretty moist.
Would you like a spoon to squish it with?
So
That would be
when you
great.
tightly pack, you're not messing around.
No, I'm not messing around.
Oh.
Usually,
That might be a secret. That's a lot of sugar when you tightly pack it.
Oh, it is. It really is. I usually use my brown sugar bayer, which preserves my brown sugar, because it fits nicely into the measuring cup.
Oh,
you
that's how
use
you
that as
squish
your
it?
I use that as my squisher. It
Hmm.
squishes it evenly and flat.
I think it's the other use for it.
Yes, it is a
Brown
very
sugar bear.
good squisher.
You know that I was in New Jersey and I asked like 4 different cooking stores if they had them, and they were like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
Is it a Midwest?
I don't know if it's a
trick?
Midwest or a Southern.
I bet it's Southern because of the moisture.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
You
know.
certainly have got, yes, it is packed like nobody's business.
All right.
Okay.
When you pour it out, it should stay in the shape of the container. It should just pop right out like that and hold the shape.
Look at that. That
So,
is
very packed.
my favorite amount of sugar.
Okay.
A lot.
Let me whisk this away.
Whisk this away. Now we need to do our vanilla. So, your regular old vanilla will work fine. Vanilla extract, not vanilla flavoring.
But you have some fancy.
But I have fancy vanilla.
What's fancy about it?
Well, you know, it was an accident. It was a happy accident. Dave, my lovely husband, couldn't find the regular brown vanilla, so he found clear vanilla extract, which is what they use in icings, so that it doesn't affect the color of the icing. And it has what I would say a little bit brighter flavor, but you know, either one is fine.
Do you know how they get it to be clear?
I have no idea. I think they strain it, I guess. They filter it. They must do something with it.
Is clear vanilla super expensive?
No.
Hmm.
No. It is a little bit hard to find. You might have to go to a baking specialty store. We get ours at Jungle Gems.
Nice. And how much vanilla did you put in?
I put in 1 teaspoon.
1
So it's
teaspoon.
not very much, but it packs a punch. And now we need our 2 eggs.
And the temperature of the eggs does not matter?
Nope. I usually just get them right out of the fridge. Although, the last time I used an egg, I had a rotten one. It was weird. So
Was it like a funky color?
it smelled terrible, and it was a funky color, and now I'm a little gun shy about pouring my eggs straight into my recipes because that was gross.
Did it have a critter inside of it, or is it just bad?
No, it's just bad. There's 1 egg. 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. You can use white, brown, vanilla eggs.
That's some
Whatever kind of
serious
eggs you
GMO
got.
stuff.
It says large, so I don't know. I don't know about that. That is all of your wet ingredients. So now we are going to mix these themselves. I like to use a hand mixer. If you have a KitchenAid, that'll work too. Make sure you use your beater.
But what kind of consistency are we going for?
We are going for pretty smooth. Everything incorporated. It should be a nice brown color. No chunks of sugar, so or butter. If you have some older brown sugar, you might have some hard parts. You want to get that all mixed in nicely, and when it looks like that, that's what you're aiming for, right?
Oh, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Now, you're not supposed to eat raw eggs, but if you'd like to, these are delicious.
Or you can put them right in the dishwasher.
Or you can put them right in the dish.
Boo.
Okay. Although we're going to need those in a minute because that's the only stuff we got. Now, dry ingredients. I've started mixing them separately. I don't know if that makes a magical difference, but maybe it does. The directions always say
wait a
do
minute.
them separate.
Let's check the.
Oh, the other flour?
I wasn't sure how much I had. So.
Okay. You need 2 1/4.
You need help?
Maybe you can just go ahead and open that.
That one also looks unopened.
This one, yeah. Let's see if I can peel it. It might just cooperate. This is a very cute bag of flour. I'm used to the 5-pound giant.
Mm.
Maybe not.
And how much flour are you putting in?
2 1/4 cups. So I just pour in whatever I got. That's not even a whole cup.
Will your oven ding when it's preheated? You don't know?
I don't think so.
All right.
We're just gonna have to hope that it's hot.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I believe the light goes off when it's preheated. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that would be helpful because it just says oven.
It didn't beep the other day when we were using it.
All right. Well,
It's kind of a shot in the dark, so that might cause a little bit of a problem.
I'm sure it'll be hot by the time we get
There's
this
a
all
cup
mixed.
and a half. So now we need 3/4.
How you doing over there, Mom?
I'm defeated by the jar.
Papa opened the jar.
Oh, okay. Measuring takes so long. Alright, so that's the most of our dry ingredients. Now we need to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of baking soda. And by a little, we're going to do a teaspoon of each.
You know what? I'm starting. I won't change my ways, but I'm starting to believe that measuring makes a difference.
Whoops. And there's a teaspoon of salt.
And baking soda, not powder.
Soda, not powder. That's a whole different chemical process. I like to scrape it against the top to make sure it's level.
I think it was made for that.
Makes sense to me. Okay, and now we're going to take a wooden spoon that has some heft to it.
Does it matter that it's wooden, or that's just the way you do it?
That's the way I do it. The plastic ones can bend a little if you get too much dough in there, especially if you're going to double.
I just want to note that the oven light went off.
All right.
So it is preheated
Okay.
to 375.
Okay, well, I think we're going to... Now we're going to combine.
Do you use a mixer?
I use a mixer.
Even though it says not to.
Does it? Well, I use a mixer, but on my Millennium mixer has dough cook attachment.
No, well, quarantine baking at the cabin, we do not.
We do not have such a thing.
So, if you want beaters, they are clean and ready for the next phase.
Okay. Well,
So, how long have you been making this recipe?
oh gosh. How long do you think it's been? It's been a real long time.
Mom, when did you start baking cookies with your children?
Well, I think she started helping when she was 5. But she has been declared the best chocolate chip cookie at every place she's worked and in our family for at least the last 10 years.
And basically every cookie. I
Yeah,
don't think
she's a cookie
I don't
savant.
think she can make a bad cookie.
Okay, so we're trying to mix all of the flour into the batter.
But you did pre-mix your dry ingredients to
I
make sure
did.
your salt and baking
My solid
soda
baking
was
soda,
well mixed.
right. That should help. Now, this last little bit, I would recommend doing with a spoon because there's always a little bit of flour that the mixer is not going to quite get into your dough. So, it's worth taking a minute or two to stir it all in. Make sure you're not wasting any.
Wasting cookie dough is a crime.
It is a crime.
And just for we can see the beautiful view from the kitchen. It's rainy.
Even in the rain.
It's
a
rainy, but
beautiful
it
view.
is.
And a view from the other window?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. Now it is entirely, the flour is all entirely mixed in. If you don't like chocolate chips, now would be the time to try it.
And it is very, it's a great consistency. It's not sticky. Nope. See, I think that makes a difference.
Now, do you use a whole bag?
Oh yeah. Does it not say use the whole bag?
It does.
Does it?
Perhaps reading the recipe is
It might
Erin's.
actually, it might actually say to measure.
I
Two
think
cups,
it.
12-ounce package. You use the whole thing.
There we go.
Yep. You can also add nuts. We don't add nuts to our chocolate chip cookies. That's interesting.
What?
It says 1 chopped nuts. If omitting, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra flour.
But we do not.
But we do not. We just
Yeah.
do it as suggested.
And it also says only 2 cups of chocolate chips, but
This is 2 cups of chocolate chips. Yeah.
oh,
In
okay.
parentheses, 12-ounce package. But you can buy larger packages.
Maybe
Or
I-
smaller packages.
All right.
Do they make smaller?
They make 6 ounces.
I think this is probably the only recipe I have memorized.
I still like the look. It just makes me feel better.
But that's UK.
So I put half the chocolate chips in here to start. Just to make sure we're getting them kind of evenly distributed. You don't want a big chunk of chocolate chips.
I feel like this is more of a master class.
Now, Kate, when you go, as your kitchen assistant, as you go to spoon them out, do you use a spoon or a cookie scoop?
I use a cookie scoop.
But since we're quarantine baking at the cabin, we will be using a spoon.
Oh, okay.
I did not. Did you bring a scoop? I did not think to bring a scoop.
I did not think to bring a scoop either.
Okay.
All right, we're going to mix the rest of our chips in here. Do we have an ice cream scoop?
No, that's
try
a
that.
scoop.
Well, but it's not a. I'll show you. I have Grandma's ice cream scoop.
Aww.
All right, I'm trying to empty my beaters without getting it everywhere, which is a little tricky.
All right.
Okay, now we've got our...
And you can really tell your dough is lighter than when you use the regular vanilla.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten used to seeing it this way.
I
So
agree. I think it's more buttery looking.
Yeah.
Okay. I would totally eat this if I was not pregnant. But I try to follow that rule.
So many rules.
Not to give myself salmonella.
All right.
And then we've got a little bit in this beater right here.
Okay,
Didn't
where
pull out.
would you like to do the scooping? Right here on this surface?
That's
Are we
fine.
done with this?
Yep. Unless you want to use it to put your tools in, but I don't think so. You might need your scraper once you get to the end. Okay.
And you do your cookies 1 sheet at a time.
Yeah, I do. That way you know that you're not going to have any uneven cooking issues. Let's see, what are our options? That's really big, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that does seem big. All right. I think we're going to kick it old style.
Ooh. Well, these probably are not going to be as pretty as if you have an actual scoop. Because the beauty of the scoop is they're all the same size
And shape.
and shape. These are not going to be all the same size and shape.
I can show you an old school trick.
Sure. Oh, you just roll them? Okay.
And press them a little bit to prevent spreading.
I don't know what it does, but that's how old school we did before there was even official cookie dough scoops.
I can't, what I do not know is the size of my scoop. Can't tell you that. 'Cause I know they make them in different sizes.
They're about that size, right?
Yeah.
If you got a pack of 3 scoops, did your scoops come in a pack of 3?
No.
Oh, so it's probably just the standard or the middle size.
One chocolate chip too big.
Okay.
And you do 12, 3 by 4.
Yep. 3 by 4.
Yeah, this one's a little fatty. We'll take some off.
It's hard, yeah, it's hard to get them all the same size when you don't have your measuring device. Also, your cookie sheets can affect your baking a little bit.
Do you
too.
use light color aluminum sheets, medium or dark?
I don't know.
Are they silver, black, or in between? I think yours
They're
are
in between. Yeah, they're not silver.
They're not silver,
black.
and they're not the dark baking ones.
Right. The ones that you have really work the best are those Wilton ones
Yes.
because they don't stick and they come right off. I would alternate your cookie sheets so you're not putting dough on a sheet that's already hot because they will pre-melt before you put them in the oven.
You really take care with your cookies.
All of these things are the reason. There's not one thing.
It's that Kate is diligent and patient and pays attention to detail.
Yeah.
And follows the rules. which are the
Well,
recipe.
all right.
That one looks maybe a little light.
It
Need a
does.
little more. Okay.
Kate, what is this your favorite cookie? Or is this just your classic?
No, it's probably my favorite. The dough is really delicious.
Mom, is this your
Dave's favorite for sure?
Mom, is this your favorite cookie?
Yes.
I think my favorite
It's hard to pick one. What's your favorite, Erin?
my favorite cookie is when Kate makes they're not her Oreo cookies.
Oh.
They're cookies, but there are Oreos in them. I don't.
Basically, they are crushed Oreos and white chocolate chips is the main stuff. And then there's Oreo pudding mix in it too. And they look like concrete sort
Yeah.
of.
That's
Big
what we
chunks
call them.
of-
Okay, we have a dozen cookies.
All right, let's
All
put
right.
those in and start the timer.
Okay.
What are we setting our timer to?
Set it to 9 minutes. That way you can make a judgment call if you want to leave it in there a little longer or not. It's also your preference on how you like your cookies. I like mine a little crispy on the outside but soft. Get in trouble with Hollywood.
But we love them the way
We
you make
like
them.
them this way. And while you're waiting, you can go ahead and scoop your next tray.
All right, so we're gonna let those babies sit in the oven and we'll check back in. All right, we've got a few seconds left on our timer.
When do you, because you always do it so well.
Oh, I check at 9 when it goes off, but I forgot to mention before, the chocolate chips might affect the quality of your cookies. We usually use Nestle, so yeah, they're a little more expensive than like Kroger, but I think the flavor is really good.
And the same thing with butter, right?
Butter, yes, it's worth you getting the Land O'Lakes. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, these actually look done.
All right.
And maybe a little tad past where I would hold them.
So do you let them sit on the pan for a little bit, or do you take them off right away?
I let them sit. Actually, those look pretty much the way you want. So, you want the edges to be starting to be brown, but the tops to still be kind of a little bit dough colored. So the way I do it is I just let them sit on the pan until I load my next pan. Now I've already preloaded this pan. So like 2-3 minutes, and then scrape them off. If you just try to take them off while they're still too hot, they will fall apart. And if you leave them on there too long, then they cook a little extra. So it's not going to make a huge difference, but
But if you're already taking the time to
something
measure
to think
everything,
about.
you should.
yeah. So we're going to let it sit there for
All right.
2 or 3 minutes. Do we have another sheet or no?
No.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to put them on the cookie sheet. How long are they going to cool for? Until you're hungry?
Well, yeah, until you're hungry. They're very good warm. If you want to pack them, you should let them cool entirely so they don't get chocolate
All right,
together.
so we'll let them
So
cool.
how many minutes cooling on the cookie sheet?
Like 2 or 3.
And then to the racks they go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, so we'll do that. We'll keep scooping the cookies, and then we'll have our final verdict.
Have Michael do his traditional.
Maybe we'll have all the men folk do.
All the men.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Really good.
Have you missed Kate's cookies, Michael?
They're extremely delicious.
I can hear the crunch.
But just like she said, it's the outside. The inside is gooey and moist.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do
you
we,
can just
do
keep
we have
eating
a
till you-
ranking? Or a
Well, they're-
scale?
I've had her.
Erin's our best. Erin's my wife.
However, these are our close second.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Yes. 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The gang of Cookie Monsters.
Warm, melty,
Buttery, sugary.
Yours are the best.
They're the best.
They really are best cookies.
10 out of 10.
Wow.
Kate, are these up to your usual
They
standard?
are. They are. Despite
Wow.
a little bit of adversity.
All right.
All right, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Well, are you stuck in your house with nothing to do? Erin is here to bake with you. Quarantine Baking with Erin.